Hey, welcome back. It's your boy Fresh.
And I'm Mary, and we are a Co-ople of nerds.
Once again, we're back looking at Kickstarter projects seeking funding right now. So we did it a little bit different this 2-week block, and we kind of trimmed out some of the ones that wouldn't necessarily fit us super well. So these are all games that we're thinking about backing.
Yeah. So before we begin, don't forget to give us a like, a subscribe, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
It's alive. It's alive. It's moving. It's alive. Oh, it's alive. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive.
Okay, so up first, we got Beyond Humanity Astro Miners. So this is 2 to 4 players, 45 to 90 minutes. It's a dice worker placement game. It's got some really cool ships in there.
Yeah, the pieces almost look like toys. They're pretty.
Yeah, 100 cards, so they're called barge minis.
Mm-hmm.
And then first player marker is overblown, but that's Kickstarter for you. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, those
180
really cool.
deluxe resource tokens, 28 tactilely satisfying.
The resource tokens
dice.
are actually plastic, which is
that's a lot of plastic.
That's a lot of plastic, but it's pretty cool.
That's right. Yeah.
I like any kind of worker placement. Not always the biggest fan of like dice placement. The dice kind of tell you what you're permitted to do with this, but I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Globe Trotting from Chicago, Illinois. So this
looks really cute.
Yeah, this game has a heck of a gimmick. So it's a flip and write, which is kind of a little bit of a spin-off of the roll and write. Mm-hmm. But instead of writing on paper or a whiteboard, you're writing on the globe,
which is really cool. That's a really cool idea. So I feel like there's been other games where you kind of you travel in the game and you collect resources for your trip and everything, but this I feel like goes to the next level. Mm-hmm. I really like the fact that it's got the dry erase.
Right.
So you're not throwing away a bunch of paper. You can reuse all of the components to it. And it definitely really sticks to the theme. You know, you have the cute little passports that look like actual passports. You have the big suitcase, which is the game board, and you have the globes.
Right, yeah.
The cute little globes.
Yeah, this game is going to have one heck of a table presence. Mm-hmm. You see this, in a game store, people sitting playing it, your eyes are just going to be drawn to these 4 giant globes.
And there's actual places, so maybe, and it talks about like bucket list items and stuff. So you could almost actually apply it to real life. It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, so like some of the missions are, I think I saw one that was called Road Trip. And you need to go to 4 locations within a single country. Mm-hmm. And so like that's a goal and you'll get points for that. There's all sorts of challenges and goals and ways to win points through travels. This game, see there it is.
That's really cool.
You can move it and you can set it up so that way the lines, like it spins 360, I guess, 360 in every direction, so you can always draw a straight line. Giant City. This one's from Spain.
This is a short game, only 10 to 20 minutes, ages 8 and up, 2 to 4 people.
That's right. So this one, there are 2 sleeping giants and
a mommy and a daddy.
Yeah. And the people built a town around the base of their cave. And then they wake up and they're angry. So the game is like the Tale of Two Cities. The first one, you're actually just building the city, and you'll have specific tiles that are your color that you're kind of hiding from your opponents. Mm-hmm. And when the giants waken, your opponents are trying to find your pieces of the city and destroy them. That's one way to win. The other way is points wise. I think our kids would really like this.
Yeah, this is a pretty basic game for people who like a little bit of heavier gaming like us.
Yeah, so there you go. You build out the city and then you kind of move them. and they destroy that parts of the city. There's all different ways to affect the giant's mood. So sometimes they won't destroy, sometimes they'll, get super angry and destroy 2 tiles instead of 1. So yeah, it's basically controlling their mood and moving them to spots that you do want them to destroy and away from spots that you don't want them to destroy. So it does have a little bit of memory where you got to remember where you put your own color tiles at. Corpse Keeper.
This one is scary looking.
It is a very scary game. So this is the only video game for the next 2 weeks. The only physical edition game I saw. This is for PS4 and PS5. So this is a Dark Souls type game. It's got some exploration. You are the corpse keeper. You're trying to fight. I'm not sure if you're trying to fight good or if you're trying to fight even more evil, but you are building an army of the dead, and it switches into this kind of one-on-one fighting.
Yeah, which you will not do.
I have retired from one-on-one fighting, but it has that Souls style play where basically every enemy is just as strong as you. You're collecting body parts to build bigger, stronger army, and you can beef them up with different weapons. And well, they're all kind of Frankenstein. So your whole team is kind of Frankenstein.
What if you collected like 30 right arms? I mean, what are you gonna do?
You would build a right arm monster. It'd be
I mean, you need the rest of the parts of the
but all 4 of them are on the same side.
That's the only part you have. You need the rest of the monster.
Right. Yeah, see here, it's got a little part where he's building these different characters. So you're selecting the equipment and stuff, and you put them together and you get these bonuses. So it's a little role-playing, little Dark Souls, little one-on-one fighting.
That's kind of a cool idea, though.
Yeah.
Build your own.
Yeah, the graphics on this didn't look great. I'm not sure how early in the development process this is.
So this is what hostile.
In the video, he says it very fast.
Yeah.
Hostile or something. Unfortunately, it looks like this one probably won't fund. They're about a third of the way there with only 8 days to go. But I thought this one looked really, really fun. So sometimes with these Kickstarters, if they don't, jumpstart the first time, sometimes they'll cancel it and try it again a little later. But basically, it's 2 to 5, which is nice, 60 minutes. So basically, all of the good hotels were lost in a mudslide. So you and your competitors only have the crappy motels by this cliff, and you need to make the stay as comfortable as possible. So basically, you're trying to collect as much sleep points as possible. You can play.
You have to be careful because the hotel is falling apart too.
So you can play cards face down to a room that will increase sleep or make it more comfortable. Nice music, good temperature, things like that. But your opponents can also play. Yes, your opponents can also play cards in there to make it less comfortable. So it's this balance of, well, do I think Mary put a good card there or a bad card there? Maybe I'll put one of my guests in her room that she's putting the cards into, because I think you can put anywhere. So it's kind of this tug of war back and forth. A lot of take that, which isn't necessarily our most favorite thing. But I thought this one with the 5 players, I thought that would be it would start to get pretty hectic. People like, okay, which rooms do I buff? Which rooms do I debuff? I thought this one looked like a lot of fun. It's unfortunate that it's probably going to fall short. That one was from Colombia. Channel 1.
So $25. I guess that makes sense.
So this is 2 to 6 players, 30 to 60 minutes. This is a semi-cooperative game about making the news. So you need to find leads, find people to interview, get scoops and things like that. You can get more points by working with someone, but then if you know, because you can't have any stories go on air that have no leads or scoops or anything just worth 0 points, because then your overall television station ratings hurt. You know, they'd be like putting fake news on.
I feel like this is a really fun concept though, especially with like more people where you're working to try and get these stories out. And I guess it's just something that I feel like it feels unique to me. And it does feel pretty basic. There's not a lot to it. So it'd be kind of more of a relaxed, not exactly party game, but maybe if you want to play games with friends who aren't heavy gamers.
Right. Yeah, I can see that.
I feel like this would be a fun one to play with them.
Right. Dice Throne.
This one is just inevitable that you would like this. You have a thing with like one-on-one games. Like Unmatched is just
I do love Unmatched.
In love with Unmatched.
I do love Unmatched. The problem with Dice Throne, and I never played it, so it's not a critique of the game, but it is a huge, it's like legendary size back order to stuff. Like I think one of the pledges is over $600 to catch up.
Oh my.
Let's see.
So is this an expansion to a series, an already existing series? Is that what you're saying?
Kind of. So you remember that Batman versus Joker deck building game called Rivals?
Yeah.
That's set inside the DC deck building game universe.
Okay.
So I think you can play those with all of the other sets, or you can just do a Batman versus Joker.
Okay.
And I think this is the same thing where you could just play as Santa versus Krampus.
Well, that's nice. At least you can still play it solo, like on its own.
Right. Or if you got an extra $600 laying around, you can get all of this stuff.
Oh.
It's a lot. It's a pretty big thing. But basically it's one-on-one fighting game with dice instead of cards, like the deck building game, or like Unmatched. Unmatched is card-based combat.
You're kind of matching symbols to the card.
Yep.
From
Yeah. So basically, you roll dice,
unlock abilities,
match that, and do that attack or do that upgrade or whatever it is. It looks really cool. I could see myself getting this one because I'm such a big fan of Christmas, and I love the contrast of
and
Santa
horror
versus Krampus. I love horror. So I don't think I want to go all the way back and get all of the Dice Throne stuff.
Right.
But I could see this being a nice one-off for me.
And we played at Christmas time.
Drop Bears.
So I had no idea.
From Australia.
I had no idea that Drop Bears were koala bears. And I thought my entire life up until this moment, I thought that koala bears were the cutest creatures on the planet. And now this game just makes them look terrifying.
That's right. Yeah. So I think Drop Bears was invented by Australians to scare non-Australians. But I have heard that occasionally koala bears will kind of fall or jump on you, depending on their mood. And they call them drop bears. Which dropping down.
I think they do have sharp claws because they have to be able to grip to the tree. They eat eucalyptus leaves, yes. And they sleep a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a ton about koala bears, but I do know that they sleep a lot and that they've got these claws because they have to grip onto the tree.
Right, yeah.
And I think they're marsupials. So don't they have a pouch?
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is 1 to 4 players, 30 to 40 minutes. This is a cooperative survival horror board game. One thing interesting is they went with beautiful minis. These minis are amazing. So scary. Look at that. Oh, that is awesome.
Oh, my little koala bear isn't so cute anymore.
These are extra big koalas. So there we go.
Yeah.
There's the Drop Bear minis. But then they went with wooden standees for the main characters. So one thing really cool about this is if we're playing as these two characters and I die, I respawn as this guy. Now, once you hit depending on the player count, you can have so many deaths.
Okay.
So death isn't like
Final?
the end of the game. So you kind of just come back as another character and continue the game, which is kind of nice. But it also probably means these drop bears are tough. I think it's more of a survival game and less of a hunting. Like some of these horror games, eventually your character gets so strong, like the roles reverse and you become the hunter, like hunting down the zombies. Like, I'm gonna destroy all zombies. I've got this machine gun. And this one, I don't think there's a ton of that. I think you're literally trying to survive and sort of stay out.
He's got a person in his hand.
Old Bruce.
How did the koala get so big and the person get so small?
He had a lot of eucalyptus and people. This one looks great. I can't hide my love for horror. Speaking of horror, what is that? Bedevil?
Bedville.
Well, that's got to be evil. Bedevil Carnival?
No, evil is EVIL. Yeah, and that has VILLE, which is Ville.
Yeah. Evil.
Bedeville? I don't know.
Bedeville?
Bedeville. All right, mate. We'll just call it Bedevil.
Bedevil
Carnival.
Man.
Gates of Bedevil are opening soon.
Yeah, 2 to 4 players, 45 minutes. So as menacing as this looks, it's actually a really cute theme. So you play as undead characters, some really cool ones like scary clowns. Oh yeah, Mary likes scary clowns. Feel free to send us
those standees though are pretty awesome. If you're gonna do a standee, do it acrylic because that looks really
painted, and they're gonna be a little more durable than the
the level of detail. And then you don't have, I don't know, I feel like sometimes the standees that are like on wood, the wood background itself is a distraction, but this makes it look better when it's clear.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the artwork in this game is really, really beautiful. It's creepy and scary. But anyway, so you play as these resurrected corpses. You can kind of just, I think they're all pretty much zombies. And you go to the fair to collect souvenirs and have fun ride the rides for fun. It's like these are joy tokens. You spend those to get souvenirs, and then these souvenirs have victory points. So if you spend 3 here, you get a card worth 5. This one here is like 3.
So does that popcorn have spiders in it?
Of course, it's zombie popcorn. What do you think they're gonna put on it? Salt and butter?
I think even zombies could appreciate salt and butter.
But you can't make too much noise or the grave digger comes to shut down your fun. Well, look at
really
this.
Cool. That's really
look at this. Coffins as trinket holders and token holders.
It's your joy holder, it says.
Well, it looks like that one looks like it's holding the standee.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just holding all the pieces. This looks like a lot of fun. I'll show you the one that Mary looks like. That's Mary right there.
And I'm mean too. I got the evil eye.
Stardust Coffee in Hong Kong. So this is a resource dice management pick up and deliver game in which you're trying to make the galaxy's best coffee. And they discovered that ingredient that makes coffee even better is Stardust. So
what's rocks in your coffee?
Really finely ground up like sugar.
Chalky.
2 to 4 players, 60 to 90 minutes. So you're trying to collect these ingredients, and if you add Stardust, you get some sort of bonus. I didn't fully understand how the Stardust bonuses work. I assume it's more points, but it might give you abilities. I know you can also use Stardust to improve your ship, but there is also pirates that can come and steal your resources.
Some of this stuff is just like, it's like coffee, Stardust, and pirates. 3 things I never would have imagined would be together.
I do that literally every day. I dress up like a pirate and collect Stardust and have a cup of coffee.
And you make coffee with the Stardust.
No, I drink the coffee. I don't make it.
You don't put the Stardust in the coffee, because apparently in this you need to put the Stardust in the coffee.
Well, I didn't think about it, so I saw this Kickstarter.
Well, that's what makes it kick ass.
But and you set up the board with cards. So this is different cards that go around. So each time you play the game, kind of the flow will be different, which I really enjoy.
Replayability.
Yeah. The Grand Carnival expansion and repeat.
Reprint.
Or repeat. You already played it
Repeat.
before. Yeah, so our good friend C. Garcia.
Oh yeah, we're just
I
best
text him all
friends.
the time. I mean, he doesn't respond, but
Although we do highly value his opinion.
yeah, no, we really enjoy watching him and tend to think along the same lines. And he loved this game. I had never seen it or heard it. 1 to 4 players, 60 minutes. So this is a polynomino building game in which you're building a carnival and collecting tickets that equal points and trying to meet little criteria. This game looked like a lot of fun. This Blackboard Gaming, we watched them too. They seem to really like it. Yeah, so like you're putting these square polynominos onto these bigger squares, and it cuts it up into grass where people can walk, and little hammers where people can where you build. So then you'll take that and
Gotta
then
build your carnival.
a structure on top of it. But see how they're not like all squares, that's a really funky shape. That's not even a shape in Tetris. And the hammers have to be going the same way. So you're limited on what, I think there's 5 slots of those 2x2 squares you can get. 2 of those are face down. And so, but the hammers have to go the same way. So you can't like rotate it around to fit perfectly. So you're going to have to be flexible in your building and
you have to be creative.
Get a little creative.
You're good at that though. I mean, you're really good at Tetris. So I feel like you'd be really good at this.
I'm gonna be good at this. Yeah. This looked fun. So the main reason they're doing this is for the expansion, which looks like it was enormous attraction. So they had like dinosaurs. Oh, they had clowns, your favorite. Peanuts.
Yeah.
Golden tickets, double foundation. So that looks pretty cool. Mini foundations, just one little block to
grand finales.
Yeah, and then a big in-game, these city campaigns where, so it's like you're traveling. It almost kind of makes it a legacy game where you're traveling to different towns, and different towns have different wind conditions. Like a Savannah, Georgia might really like clowns, and Tulsa, Oklahoma might hate clowns. So one of them you want to get as many clowns as you can, the other one you don't want any at all.
I don't want any clowns. How convenient that we just saw The Greatest Showman the other night.
There you go. It's all fake. Pasadena, California. Batman, the Arkham Asylum Files.
You like Batman stuff.
I do love Batman.
You like stuff with the Joker.
I do love the Joker. So this, I mean, I'm just going to scan right here. It's a board game, escape room, puzzle box, animated / live action series, mystery adventure, mobile augmented reality game.
Yeah.
Wow. There's
a lot in there.
Is intense. So you are literally building Gotham City. You hold up your phone or tablet and it'll show you like a video of what's happening there. The Joker, lighting a fire, robbing a bank, whatever. It's got all these clues, like a escape room style game. There's 3 episodes in this Kickstarter. They are
So I
not
guess
cheap.
I was gonna say, so that does mean though it's a one-time shot for each of those.
I believe so.
If it's an escape room, it's got to be a one-time shot.
Right. Now, maybe that using the app, maybe they'll say, hey, for an extra $10, you can download this one and use your old components, and we'll switch it up and help guide you through it. So having, an app assistant does
I just
more possible for flexibility.
I like where you have to solve the mystery though. I really like.
I do.
I want to be a detective.
They did have these deck of cards, which so it's 52 all Jokers decks. So there are 52 Jokers plus 2 Harleys. I thought that was
So
kind of
Harleys
cool.
are the joke.
Yeah. So I don't know if they actually have like numbers or the suits or anything on them.
Yeah.
And I thought this was a little, it comes with the mask. It looks like that cheap
The really thin,
plastic.
cheap plastic
Yeah.
where don't let your kid touch it or it's already broken.
Well, let's cut a couple bucks off this. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of the cards. We're already expensive enough. Physical comic book. So there's a lot in here. There's a lot to go through. But look at that. That's a lot of money for a game you've never played.
Yeah.
And then if you did play it once, well, you've already solved a third of it. Or maybe if you just demoed it or something. So yeah, I don't know. It's this is it. I guess I see it. This one could either be the worst one or the absolute best one.
Yeah,
and that's a tough gamble for that kind of money. Well, that will do it. Are you considering backing any of these? Any of these look good to you? Let us know in the comments down below, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.